Okay, hey guys, hi everyone. Welcome to our lecture today. We have a special one. So our alumni from EHCB, Maroš Kovačić, he's gonna hold the lecture today. We were together in the first generation. And yeah, Coach Maroš, go for it. Welcome.
Everyone, sorry for my voice, but I hope so that you are gonna understand. First of all, I would like to thank the alumni and Euroleague Head Coaches Board for this opportunity. I mean, for me, I really feel honored to have a chance to share my ideas about basketball, my point of view, and I hope so that it's gonna be useful for you as well. I am excited to have you here and to break down one of the most crucial, often misunderstood aspect of the team defense, and this is a pick and roll. Specific topic is that it's going to be directional pick and roll defense. Okay, maybe it looks like a little bit strange, but we can say this is just weak, as you know. This is a weak pick and roll defense. I'm going to talk and just to be really detailed about the high pick and roll. I mean, it's very, very important because now, as you know, that every offense attack you with a pick and roll. And if you don't have a really great tool defensively to stop the offense, pick and roll offense, so probably you are gonna have a long night. The great thing is that it's possible to improve. It's possible to improve your team communication. It's possible to improve the lazy switches, unnecessary help to minimize the long closeout. So if you work on it on a daily basis, so you can turn what has been so far your weakness into the strength. So in this case, it's not easy to attack, and sometimes even you can frustrate the offense with this kind of the pick and roll coverage. I don't want to talk only about the directly only about the pick and roll coverage, so means two players involved in the pick and roll, but about the responsibilities of any other players. And because this is a specific coverage, so if you want to run it really well, so you have to think about the off-ball defense. So it means you have to think about and you have to be prepared well how to defend the off-ball actions before the pick and roll takes place. So you have to know exactly what kind of rules you want to run on the handoffs, dribble handoffs, and some off-ball screens like screen away, pin downs, stagger, or let's say what is now really popular in Europe, and this is zoom action. So I would like at the beginning to share with you my PowerPoint slides, what I prepared for you. Guys, anytime when something is not gonna be clear enough for you, just stop me, just raise your hand, and you can ask me anytime. If really it's not gonna be clear, just stop me, and I can use my coaching board and to draw you whatever is not gonna be clear enough. And at the beginning, if we talk about the slide, so this is more or less about the theory, and then at the end I have video files with everything what you can see in my slides that is much easier for you to understand and to see, and I hope so that it's going to be enough to understand. Of course, again, I mean, like in 2015, I think that Coach Trinkieri said in one clinic that if you watch the clinic, it's enough if you take one note, one idea what you really like, one what you don't like, and one that you hesitate with. So I will be really satisfied if you just watch it detailedly and you follow this Andrea Trinchieri instructions. So let's get to work. So let me share my screen. Okay, just a moment. Okay. Moment. Wait a second. Where it is? Okay. Done. Elena,
Yeah, what's up? Why is it not doing?
I just cannot find a button when I can share the screen.
The same way we did it before.
Yeah, okay, I have it. I have it now. Okay, I got it. Okay, probably now you see it. Okay,
Yeah, it's good. We can see it.
good. Okay, I have it. So now PowerPoint right here.
Yeah,
See
super.
it now?
Yep, it's good.
Okay, so go ahead. So okay. So first of all, okay. So directional pick and roll coverage with the smart off-ball defense, as I said before, guys. So it's gonna be the high pick and roll coverage, the specific one. And as I mentioned before, so I would like to talk about off-ball defense before. So as you know, that every coach before the start of the season, you have to decide what type of pick and roll coverage you want to run with your team, and mostly depend on league tendencies, because you know that every league is different. It depends of the domestic league. If you play double weeks like Euroleague, Eurocup, or any other international leagues, and about the individual characteristic of your players. So only if you know, okay, these two aspects, so then you can start thinking before the start of the season what kind of coverage is going to be probably fit to your team. So my recommendation for you guys is, like, at the beginning of the season, to start with the maximum two different coverages, and when your team learns it really perfectly and running well, so then you can integrate any other. Because basketball becomes quicker and faster. So basketball is now more about the actions and the reactions, more about thinking at the beginning. Of course, that basketball is a game of high IQ, but always the most important, especially when anything happens on the court, the most important is action. If you can act, and if you cannot act, or at least to have a quick reaction. So when you build your defensive playbook, so you have some kind of the coveraging knowing perfect. So you have to pick for every particular game some kind of the pick and roll coverage. What depends of the scouting. So first thing is, so you have to decide according where the pick and roll action is played, because you know that it's a big difference if the pick and roll is run on a side, high, slot pick and roll, elbow, logo. So you have to have a defensive tools to guard the pick and rolls at the specific parts of the court. Another very important thing is how far the pick and roll is set. So it means it's not the same thing if the pick and roll is set right over the 3-point line, or some outside, or 8 meters away. So you have to think about this thing. Then who is involved offensively and defensively? This is a big difference. You have to know exactly who is going to run pick and roll offensively, and okay, who is what your players are gonna be involved, if they are good enough or not good enough. So you have to be really focused on these things. Then what ball handler prefers? So means if he runs the pick and roll for himself, or he prefers passing the ball away and run the pick and roll for his teammates. And the last thing, what is important, depending on the scouting, is what the screener prefers. If right after the screen he prefers rolling deep low, or he prefers a short roll with some mid-range shot, or if he's a great pop-out player with the ability shooting from behind the arc. So all these aspects are really important for your pick and roll coverage to be picked. As you know, that we can have a couple of high pick and roll coverages, like as you can see in this diagram. So it can be flat, drop, switch, blitz, hedge, whatever. I picked the week for this lecture, but not only this mentioned the pick and roll coverages, but you can combine them. I did the same thing with the week, because it's not not easy to have only one pick and roll coverage in your pocket. Plus, if you have something, so you have to adjust your pick and roll coverage against the different opponents. So, for example, from my side, my experience is when I run weak with my team, so I combine it with a weak with the switch, depending on the time left on the shot clock, or weak with the hedge. So it was my experience with the weak. In this tab, you can see just this is like some kind of info that this is the statistics from the Euroleague from Synergy from the last year from the whole scene, and in two red columns you can see that just 1% of all the pick and rolls what team ran that season were guarded with the ice. So ice means like a side pick and roll, icing it, or high pick and roll running weak. So not too often. So because of this statistic, it's very important to understand that probably weak cannot become the main coverage of your defensive playbook. It's a great tool for specific players against the specific teams, but to run it as a main pick and roll coverage probably is not the best idea, because as you can see that just some teams prefer it, and it's not the main coverage. But like a tactical tool is great. So what is a weak? If we talk about the weak, so it is like when defender of the ball on the ball, shading the ball handler to his left hand. So it means we don't want to allow him attacking our basket with the pick and roll with his strong hand, what many players prefer, but we want to force him left. So we force him to his off hand. As I mentioned before, so we can be combined with any other different pick and roll coverages, what can help you in a game. And it depends on the individual characteristic of the two players directly involved in the pick and roll action, or the time left on the shot clock. So to understand it better, so let's say my case was, so when I run weak against great shooters, so I use weak with the hedge. Later on, I will show a couple of clips when you can see the really clear. So how we change the weak into the hedge, because the specific ability of the player running pick and roll, or in the last 8, 7, 6 seconds, we run weak with the switch after first dribble. So to control the last 8 seconds and to change it from 2-on-2 into 1-on-1. So this is, for example, 2 different options what my team ran when we used this coverage. Of course, that when you want to run this coverage, you have to explain your players why you want to run the pick and roll coverage. Every coverage has upsides and downsides, so positive and negatives, and you just have to decide what can work for you better. So if we talk about the upsides, about the positive things, this is, from my point of view, the most important thing, that I'm the coach who really like playing really aggressive defense, and this kind of coverage always allowed me to be active and not reactive. So means like my defense always dictated to offense what to do. Another very important thing is that because you force one side, shading left, so like everything goes one side, so it can improve the efficiency of your rotation. Because if we talk about the rotation, so you have like just one side rotation, so it's much easier to work on getting the habits than if you have to do it from both sides. Another very important thing, and we can see it here more and more in the EuroLeague, that pick and roll becomes a 2-on-2 game. So why? Because if you involve any other players too much, so the smart offenses are gonna kill you with the kickouts and like spot up shots, or with some big closeouts and long closeouts. They can beat you very easy. So you have to be really precise, okay, to avoid unnecessary rotation and long closeouts. Another very important thing is that you can preventing pick and roll maestros, so the players who are really great running the pick and roll, because in this case they can pass the ball away just one side. Right? So this is very important thing to to minimize this pick and roll strengths. And last thing is that often if you run really well by specific rules, so you can disrupt any other actions following the pick and roll. Same thing as I said before, of course, that a weak pick and roll coverage has a downside, so like a negatives. So first thing is that the defenses that aren't adept at the help responsibilities. Another very important thing is that the ball handler has a straight line drive towards the hoop. So especially if you guard a great driver, so it's not easy to guard because you open him one side, even to the left, but still you open the driving line. And the last thing is, and this is very, very important about the communication. So late calls, okay, is the complete blow by. And here again, I will show you the one clip that the specific rule has to be installed, how to guard if there is a really big blow by of two players directly defensively involved in the pick and roll. If we talk about the specific reasons, so again, like these specific reasons, we have from scouting. So first thing is that most right-handed players are not such a confident dribbling to the left. I mean, this is a clear thing. Even at the top level, believe me, at the top level, it's not easy for every point guard just to skip the pass, okay, to the opposite corner with their left hands. Then another thing is if you have a great shooter involved in the pick and roll, so more or less you force him more to drive than to shoot. Closing runners and floaters, so it's much easier to block. Again, I will show you a couple of clips for this defense, and it's pretty clear reason why to run weak, that you can closing the runners and floater, because as you know, it became in the last couple of years really popular, that every coach teaches the players to shoot the runners and floaters. So again, there is a good news that you can close it with this kind of the defense and minimize the easy floaters and runners to be taken. Then we minimize using skip passes. Look at, like, I don't think so. This is a big secret that the most important skill in the pick and roll regarding the passes is a skip pass and pocket pass. So if you have a guard who is able to pass the pocket and skip pass, so there's no doubt that this is probably the most useful passes technique to beat any kind of pick and roll defense. But with the weak, you can minimize the skip. Why? Because as I said before, passing the skip with the offhand, it's not such an easy, and that there is not so many players who are able to skip it to the opposite corner with the left hand. So only pocket, let's say. So in this case, we can minimize these two strengths into just one, only to pocket pass. And so I mean like a 50% less thing what can happen easy on the court. Another important thing is, and this is again connected with the players, as you know that now like the basketball is much quicker, the posts are much more agile and quick enough, and flip on-ball screen becomes really popular now in the last couple of years, when the defense doesn't know from which side the screen is gonna be set, and many teams just use this flip screen. But when you run weak, so you don't let the offense dictate the flip, and you just force them to one side. So flip screen doesn't work so well. What I think is a great tool to minimize. And last thing is, and this is more about let's say not top level team. So if you have a limited budget and you are not able to sign a really great athletes, so the great thing is that with this kind of the defense, even let's say slower post, you can keep them much closer to the basket, so they don't need to be such aggressive, and they are ready to get the rebound much quicker because they are closer to the basket. Before you take decision about running the weak coverage, there is 3 different possibilities, and why I talk about this, because every single option is more difficult to guard. The easiest way, my experience is, if you run the weak, if the ball is already in the middle. So like regular, I don't know, like a fist up, single, high pick and roll. So this is the easiest way how to organize the week. If there is any action before the pick and roll takes place, so let's say there is a pin down and right after pick and roll, he's running the week is a little bit harder, but the toughest thing about the week, and this is outside pick and roll. With outside pick and roll, you have to be really careful if you still want to run weak, because in this case, you open a pretty large space for the players to attack your basket. So with outside pick and roll, we have to be really careful if you want to guard it this way or not. So like if we talk about the outside pick and roll, so we can see the player with number 3. If we talk about the ball is already middle, so this is player 1 before he got the ball, and okay, the middle option is the 1 pass is the 2, and then is a pick and roll. So this is a 3 different options. And now, probably this is the most important thing about the weak pick and roll, that we have to know exactly. So what are the responsibilities of every player on the court? So we have to talk about the screen defender, ball handler defender, and any other players who are not directly involved in a pick and roll. If we talk about the screen defender, guys, now it's gonna be a little bit more points, but don't be scared, because I can draw you on my coaching board right after, and to explain you every single responsibility if you won't understand it. But I hope so. It's not gonna be so complicated. So first thing is the basic 2 rules and responsibilities of the screen defender. That the screener defender, so post defender, is responsible for the layup, whatever it takes. Even the guard, who is directly involved in the pick and roll, rejects the pick, so it's still responsibility to stop this drive for screener defender. And second thing is that he has to do everything what is possible with the great positioning, that we minimize the chances for offense to split the pick and roll with some snake drive. And because in this case we have to again come up with some different rules how to defend the snake drive. This is a really clear thing, like a early, loud, and continuously communication when a post has to scream 3 times weak, but always with the contact. So when he starts screaming weak, so he already has to stick into the screener and going with him setting the screen. Another important thing is to get into the line of the screen. So we can say that this is some kind of the high flat when a screener defender stays maximum 1.5 arm length below the screener. And the reason is, as I mentioned before, because we want to minimize the splitting the pick and roll with the snake drive. Footwork, very important thing is, and you can teach your players to use short slide. What is not so important, but cross step is the crucial thing. Why cross step and why not slide step? If you have to be really focused in your program, working on a week, that your post have to use cross step. If they use regular slide step, first slide step, when the ball handler comes off the screen, you open the room for the pocket passes with the cross step. But again, it's not very difficult to understand, because I show you exactly on my video what means cross step and why we have to use the first cross step, how we have to deny and minimizing the room for the offense to pass the pocket. Handwork, another very important thing is, great thing is that if we run weak, so screener defender always uses the same handwork for the right hand and same work for the left hand. So if we talk about the inside hand, what is the left hand for them? So they have to keep it and being ready to protect any pocket pass from 45 to 90 degrees. So this is the job of the left hand work. So they protect the angle from 90 till 45, and outside hand is ready to protect any lob pass or being ready to deflect the ball. Again, like I showed you in the video, okay, how it looks like. Now, because we want, as we said before, one of the important things about the weak pick and roll is that we have to change this game into 2-on-2, and because of it, the screener defender always has to see the screen in front of him. So means he always has to be over the rolling line. So always our post has to be closer to our rim than the screener. Again, I'll explain you why in the video. This is a very common thing, like leaving dribbler when his defender recovers back to him fully. So then the guard screams, okay, get back, when he recovers him to fully. And now here in these two things, you can see like why to run weak with the switch. So first option is we run weak into switching on ball defender and screener defender when the ball handler touches the paint with the, like a straight line drive, not with the hezzy, but a straight line drive, or if there is a pick and pop action. But in a pick and pop action, we never switch with after first dribble, but after second dribble. Because sometimes if you do it too quick, so they can attack your mismatch. So we most like our rule was to switch pick and pop action just after second dribble, when the guard covers the post after a pick and pop in a passing line. So we more or less we allowed only low pass when the ball handler hit the post. And last thing is weak with the hedge or just step out. So this is some kind of the option against great shooters. Again, I showed you the video. If we talk about the ball handler defender, so first and the most important thing, and this is probably the basis of the weak defense, that we have to cut off the right drive. And as we said before, that the post player defender, so screener defender, is responsible for every single layup. So okay, otherwise, so it's gonna be okay like a mess. Like if sometimes you ask the guard, sometimes post no, just post is responsible for the layup, and guard is responsible to challenge every single off the dribble shot. So we never ask our screener defender to challenge the shot, because in this case, he's higher than the roller. So if they feed the roller, it's gonna be the dunk. Or even if he challenges if the post, like a screener defender challenges the shot, and the shot is missed. So again, like offensive post players of the screener can get the rebound easy. So we said, okay, for our guards, nobody else, just on-ball defender is responsible for the any pull-up jumper. Now, and here is something what like this is this point involves a couple of options. So it's up to you if this is just a coach decision when defender starts aligning the feet, because if you want to run weak, so you have to adjust your stance in the 45-degree angle, forcing the player to offhand. So like this is a coaching decision. Okay, let's say how far the ball is away of the rim, or let's say we can make decision. Okay, guys. So when our opponent brings the ball right over the half-court line, you have to start aligning your feet. Or it depends on the post decision. So as we said, when post starts screaming weak, so guard has to change his stance 45 and forcing into the pick and roll to the left side. Or this is the decision of guard. And again, you will see a couple of videos when guard decided running weak, pointing the side where he forces the ball handler. I already mentioned 45 stance. We need to put the shoulder on the hip, but we never can keep our stance, our feet parallel with the sideline, because in this case we opened up this highway towards the basket. So always 45, but again, video exactly will show us this stance. Footwork. So because as we said before, so guard is responsible to challenge any off the dribble shot. So because the footwork, how to avoid the screen is such important, when with the inside foot, you attack the sideline, and with the outside foot, you get over the screen, hip on hip, and getting over and try to avoid any contact. Every contact when the on-ball defender stuck there, it makes him late to challenge any shot because, as we said, guard is responsible for the shot. Okay, we have some chat here. Okay, handwork. So as we said before, that the left hand attacks the ball in a 45 stance. So same thing, water polo, goalkeeper hands. And now, because screener defender is responsible for the angle from 90 till 45, so even lower has to keep the outside hand, the guard, and he's responsible for the angle from 15 to 60. But again, just it's not easy to imagine. I know. I will show you the video. Okay, how it's possible to what is the important about this. Whatever it takes. If we talk about the regular pick, I'm not talking if the pick and roll is set really, really high. We need to chase the dribbler. As we said, we challenge any shot, and we want to recover fully as soon as possible. Okay. Another thing is, if defender is late, because it can happen, as I said, let's say there is some off-ball action before, there is a good pin down, and the guard is late, or there is a rejection. So guard on-ball defender has to get under. So he's late, there is a rejection, or the pick and roll is set really, really high. So it's the specific technique how to get under. I hope so that you already heard it in your past. This is a door spin. So you get below the screen like a door and recover him back immediately. Of course, if there is a great shooter, you just have to trail. If the dribbler snakes, so means there is a good screen, ball is too far away because he's late, lazy, whatever, and there is a gap. So every offense, every on-ball defender attacks you with a snake drive. We said we just need to chase. Why? Because on-ball defender is responsible, for the shot. And now what is important, that the screener defender has to change the hand. So it means, if you can imagine it, we run weak. So screener defender has to attack the ball at the beginning with his inside hand, and this is left hand, just one snake, stop into the ball. But if the guard, use the snake drive, so in this case, post has to change the strategy of handwork, and he has to step the ball with his right hand because he snakes. Again, like I can draw it right after. And last thing is after snake, if we need, because there is some mess, so we can run some emergency switch. We were talking so far only about these two players directly involved in the pick and roll, and now what any other players have to do. Basic thing is, and you can remember it easy. If the offense attacks you with a pick and pop, the most important thing is stunt. If the offense attacks you with a deep roll, most important thing is defensive tag. Depends, high tag, low tag. And third thing is, if there is a paint touch, mostly you have to switch any pick and roll, two players directly involved in the pick and roll. But to explain you much better is the basic responsibility depends of offensive spacings. So what does it mean? If there is a high pick and roll, so we have a different rules and different responsibilities. If we have two players on vision and one behind, or we have one on vision, two behind. If there is a isolation 2-on-2 in the middle and three players along the baseline, there is a different thing. If there is a Spanish pick and roll, different thing. If there is a pick and pop, empty corner, pick and pop, corner taken, or short roll. But I explain you, for a moment with the diagrams how it looks like. Positioning for early help. So if we talk about the players behind the pick, so mostly they have to get the elbow and low post, or if there is any rejection, so they have to get a nail to stop any possible drive. As we said, we take the roller and we recover the closest defender to the roll. We stand to contain the ball handler. Mostly I'm talking about the player front of the pick. If there's a two players front of the pick, so we need to buy the time for on-ball defender to recover. Of course, communicate and rotate only. This is really necessary. Okay, we have to minimize this rotation and helps to change the game in 2-on-2. We need to protect the paint, and if there is a collapse, we just have to do everything what is possible to protect the paint when the ball is inside, when the roller gets the ball in the paint. Close out with control, so no long close out, no unnecessary help to prevent open shots or easy drives. And last thing is switch if it is required, so mostly straight line drive. I stopped sharing my I hope so I can do that. Okay. Stop share. Okay, guys. And now let me see. Okay. So look at to make it clear. So if everybody like it's possible to see my coaching board.
Yeah, we got it, coach.
Yes, we see it, coach.
So look at guys.
Sorry, Ian.
So if we talk about the high pick and roll, we have a guy in the middle with the ball. We have an on-ball defender. We have a screener. Okay, and let's say that we talk about the spacing, having two players behind the pick and one on vision. Okay, so as we said, we have a 45 stance, screen is set, and now post. Okay, post responsibilities. So first thing we said that the post with the flat position has to get the screening line. For me, screening line means connection, sideline, and the level of the screen. So more or less, we wanna screen a defender to get the screening line, okay, maximum 1.5 length away of the basket, because we wanna prevent any snake drive. So footwork, as we said, look at, if we let this post moving laterally this way, so he opens the space for a pocket pass. So this is the reason why the footwork is so important, because if you use the first cross step, in this case, he doesn't move laterally, but with his footwork, he attacks the elbow, and there is no such a big space and bigger room for a pocket pass. So this is what you have to be focused on, and this is the footwork of the post. If we talk about the handwork, if you can imagine, like, this is how the player looks like, okay? Let's say hands. So, okay, if we talk about the two hands, this is inside hand, outside hand, if you talk about the post. So handwork of the post is responsible from 90 degree, okay, till 45. So post with his moving with his head, he's responsible for this angle from 45 till 90. And if we talk about the guard, so guard does the same job, but different angle, because when he moves from, okay, his hands, and he moves from 60 here till 15. So we can say that they cross, he covered this space, and he covered this space. So there is more or less, there is no space for pocket pass. So this is about the handwork of the post and the guard. Then, okay, so when the screen is set, a 45 ball. So we said that when ball handler starts rolling down, so post always has to see both of them front. So when the post after screen starts rolling down, so defender always has to be below, seeing ball and him. Why? Because if he see in front of him and the guard passes the pocket, so he can guard him face to face. If he let him drive behind his cut behind his back and he gets the ball, there is a one specific rotation I will show you on the video. but still it's gonna be the dunk. So this is a responsibility, okay, to always keeping the roller front of you. If we talk about the guard responsibilities, screen is set. Okay, we said, okay, that first thing is 45-degree angle, never flat. Okay, he's responsible only to force him, shading him left. And again, hip contact. This is I really struggle with it, especially at the beginning of the season. That when my guards heard that the post scream on them like a weak, so they jump back without any contact with the ball handler. So this is first thing what you have to be focus on. I already showed you the handwork, and whatever happens, you just have to follow him. If he snakes, so guard always follow him because he is responsible for the shot, not post. Post has to be ready just to stop any possible drive. Okay, so this is more or less about these two guards, and now I just want to show you the different different things about these three players who are not involved directly in a pick and roll. Just let me. The same problem. Zoom. Oh yeah. Let me share again till I find you. Okay, so sharing again. You see my screen. I hope so. Yeah. So look at so. Okay, so now we are gonna be much more focused about here. Okay, very good. So this is the next one. So we talk about the high pick and roll when we have a one player on vision. It means on vision is a 0-2 getting the left corner offensively, and we have behind the action because we force left. We have a 4-on-3. So what are the responsibilities? So first thing is we talk about the X1. So this is the player front of the vision. So he's higher than 0-2 and he's not scared about the back door. If there's a back door, so he has one step to help, and then X4 is ready to help as well. And he has to stay a little bit higher to fill the gaps, and that we don't allow to attack the guard straight line drive. There is one exception, and I just wanna to show it. If there is a player like a Mike James, so there is one specific rule. If you face this kind of the player who is really like a great player, again ISO player, quick, agile enough, can do whatever he wants. So when he really drive very strong towards the basket, so we can switch X1 and X2. But this is like it doesn't happen too often. Okay, it has to be a really great player. Now we have two players behind the pick, and this is X3 and X4. So X3 stands on the elbow, and he is responsible for the high tech. This is a not duty. This is not obligation. He's only there if there is a quick deep roll to make slower. Again, you will see the one video with the great bump and or tech, and he slowed down the post to roll down underneath the basket. But this tag, has to be on a free throw line and not deeper, because if he makes it deeper, he's too far away from his man. Plus, he's responsible for the pocket pass when he put he put the inside hand into the pocket pass to make a doubt for the post. And last player is X4, who has to stay 1 foot in, 1 foot out. First reason why he has to stay there is that he has to prevent any lob pass for alley-oop. And the second thing is And this is a rotation. If, for example, happens that after first pass, there is a pocket to 05, and 05, the screener gets the ball driving in, so X4 has to stop him, and X3 has got the first rotation. So this is the reason why the X4 has to stay such close towards the basket. Of course, again, we count that it's not easy to pass the skip pass with the left hand. Different thing, at least it looks like at the beginning, like isolation 2-on-2 and 3 players along the baseline with a high-low action. But at the end, we can say that this is the same thing as I showed you before, because the alignment when the pick and roll takes action, so it's the same like a 1 on vision and 2 behind. So more or less it's the same thing, just there is a different role of the X4. So he has to get moving up in a rim line and be ready for some high tech or some pocket pass. Any other players doing almost the same job as a diagram before. Another scenario we have if we have 2 players on vision. So we can see we have a pick and roll in the middle. We wicket. We have X4 behind the action and 2 player on vision. So we have X3 and X2. Okay, going step by step. First thing is, the most important thing is, okay, we have to know abilities and skills of all 4 and depend of scouting, so we can help more or less way of him. So means stun, ready to help slightly below the elbow, possible tag. It's not an obligation with a snake hand, but everything depends on all 4 skills. Now 2 players front of the pick, and this is X3 and X2. X3 has a really extremely big role in this pick and roll, because more or less in the same time, he has to guard 3 different things. First obligation is that he has to do everything what is possible, that with his good stance and stun, he forced the ball handler to take decision over the free throw line, but in the same time, he's responsible for his own offensive player. This is 03, staying at the wing. And last thing is that he has to protect straight passing line from 01 to the corner to 02. Why? Because we need X2 staying 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Same thing. If we have 2 players on vision, in our case, X3 and X2, so it happens that screener roller gets the pocket and dribble drive inside through the lane, so X2 has to stop him, and X3 takes the first pass. So this is the reason why X2 defender on the corner man has to stay with the 1 foot in and 1 foot out to be ready for rotation. But again, like you will see the clips, the film, how it works. Another thing is high pick and pop with the empty corner. Okay. And here I just want to emphasize the job of X4. Okay. It can be X3, it can be X1, whoever. Okay. So means X4 stays at least 2 steps higher than 04 because there is no space for backdoor. But he has to be ready to help or to switch if 05 is a great shooter. We install and we use this specific rule. We call it in my team, we call it Mayday. So when we screen Mayday according to scouting, and the X5, the 05, the screener was a great shooter, so we switch. The reason why X4 stays so high is that in this case, if we need to switch, he's much closer to 05. But what is very important thing, and we will see it when I will talk about the cuts, that if X4 stays higher, there is no possible for 05 to face front of his face. Because it happens that the offensive player 4 cuts front of X4, in this case, he cannot switch. There's no chance to switch. So everything what we want to do is that if O4 cuts, it has to be behind the back of X4 and he's ready to switch. Anybody else has have us more or less the same duties. Then we have a high pick and roll with the 3 players along the baseline, but without high-low. Okay, so this is like, this is very common situation when there is isolation, not easy to guard, but again, X3 stun, ready to help slightly, okay, below the elbow, making the doubts, forehand and recover with the snake inside hand. But again, everything depends on the skill of O3 and O5. Okay, so it's gonna be one clip. Okay, when O5 is a poor shooter, so like X3 even doesn't need to help. But probably the most important player is X4. So again, he starts positioning himself much higher than O4. Of course, that he always has to control him. But again, he's not scared about the backdoor. But if O5 screener gets the pocket or any kind of the pass, and he starts driving inside towards the basket, so X4 has to be ready to help or even to switch O5, and X2 helps on O4. Okay, so this is another spacing. Then we have a Spanish pick and roll. And guys, here, there is many ways. And many coaches have a different strategy how to defend Spanish pick and roll. I'm just talking about my experience, and we used a lot switching guard when we never allow the post being involved in the pick and roll defense. What does it mean? So first thing is X3. He is responsible for any alley-oop, okay, for a short time. Again, depends on the skills of O3. And X2 as a defender of the back screener. We always screen back. What meant for the X5 that after first dribble of O1, he tried to avoid back screen going with his man. And when O1 brings the ball or brought the ball inside the 3-point area, we switched guard. So X2 took the ball handler, and X1 switched popping out player O2 in the passing line. It works pretty well, so we didn't have any big problem with the Spanish pick and roll. High pick and roll with a strong side wing cut. This is very important thing, because this is one of the best way how to attack weak pick and roll. As you know, that there is 2 possibilities. So if we talk about the weak defense in the middle, and we have 2 players on vision, so it's possible to cut by O3, as you can see on this diagram, or offensively we can send O4 to cut underneath the basket, and to O3, okay, to get to corner. We installed one rule. The most important thing was the X4, as you can see in a blue circle. So X4 was responsible to communicate with the X3 what to do, and whoever cut underneath the basket, it was always the job of X4. Again, we asked him at the beginning to get higher, because in this case, if O3 cut underneath, so he was able to meet him much higher, and there is no easy layup if the ball handler hits the cutter. In the same time, he screamed on X3 to protect the corner. So we like a switch. So everything has to be forced by the great communication. X4 has to be great communication. Okay, same thing, but now we have a corner cut and 3 relocates. Same thing. Okay, so as we said, here is the same rule as we said before. If X4 is higher, so in this case, O4 can cut only behind his back, what we prefer. I explain in the next diagram why it's so important. So in this case, for cutter is responsible X4. For a corner, X3, communication, and everybody just go with his own man. But what is there was a really hard in the season to find the proper time, because sometimes it happens that the pick and roll was run, and at the same time there was a movement from these two players. So we decided to do one thing, because, and this is so important, if X4 stays much higher, so really often happen that there was a really difficult to decide who guards who. So if all four cuts behind his back, so X4 for the moment could defend cutter and cornerman as well. So it has to be with the great communication. So it happened many times that when a ball handler came off the screen, came off the pick and roll, so X4 covered from the top side cutter, but when the pass was executed, so X4 get corner and he screamed on X3 just to take the cutter. So it was in a time when the ball was in the air. But I show you this on my tab. I show you this situation because it's difficult to understand. Okay, and last thing is off ball screens. So okay, if we talk about a weak and we want to run weak, so we have to defend different way, left side and right side off ball screens. If we talk about the zipper, so the basic responsibility is I prefer top lock and always forcing into the traffic. We stay connected as much as possible and we chase the cutter denying over the 3-point line. But what is the difference, as you can see on the first and second diagram, is that on the left side, because left side means this is like a, we look for, okay, we watch on this situation from the baseline. So, okay, from the left side, if the 0-1 pass to 0-2, just his defender stays from this side because we force him into the pick and roll. But from the right side, it was a little bit more difficult. Okay, so when he came off the screen and X2 stays sticked on him, attached to him, so he has to be so aggressive when he gets the ball that our defender of 0-2 has to be such aggressive that he has to step even 1 or 2 steps higher to prevent 0-2 using the right hand. And again, because we want to keep the ball on the left side, but I have a great clips for this off ball action. Screen away. Again, I prefer side lock and again forcing into the traffic. If we keep 0-2 cutting under the screen, so we always chase, always. We never go different path as a cutter. From the left side, again, we always have to go with and staying from his left side from his right side to force him into the traffic. But from the opposite side, okay, first goal is force him into the traffic. But it happened that the 0-2 went over the screen. We prefer to get under, because in this case, he cannot run the pick and roll to the right side. So again, we jump higher and we force him left. So from the right side, it was not possible to chase him, only the great shooter. Of course, if there's a great shooter, to keep him attacking us only with the left hand. Again, great videos for a moment. Stagger screen. Stagger screen is very, very specific because you have too many variations how to defend it. Again, I just talked about my experience. Top lock, forcing into the traffic, and from a left side, always to chase wherever he goes, always chasing the cutter. If he gets under and over, chase and keeping him attacking left. If the stagger is set from the opposite side and you cannot keep 0-2 cutter cut below the screens, so in this case, the other screen, we decided getting under and again to jump in his dribbling path to force him left. So again, you can see that there is a different way guarding left and right side. Again, just still, you have to keep in your mind that right after stagger, there is a pick and roll. After screen away, there is a pick and roll. After pin down, there is a pick and roll. Again, it depends on the scouting. Handoff and dribble handoffs. So again, just here, if you can imagine. So if we talk about the right side, again, if there is a handoff, So we prefer getting under because, again, right after handoff, we have to jump higher to keep O2 not attacking us to the right side. With the dribble handoff, it's a little bit different story because we ask our X4 after when O4 pick the ball up to attack immediately with the outside shoulder, and in this case, X2 should get under both of them. Because in this case, O2 attacks away of the basket. So dribble handoff was guarded different way as a handoff on the right side. On the left side, we had only one strategy and always chase whatever it takes. We chase, because we wanted right after handoff to keep attacking the cutter, the player who hands the ball off only to the left. So handoff and dribble handoff. So we guarded the same way. We didn't care too much. We just trail, of course, putting the hand into no handoff, and if handoff occurred on the court, just trailing the O2. You can see X4 and X5 is ready to help. So there is no possible immediately drive underneath the basket. So same defense for handoff and dribble handoff. It was a guard at the post. We have a specific rule for a handoff between guard, left or right side. And again, I explain you why. If we take a look on the first, so you can see from the left side, we call it soft switch. Of course, again, depends on you and scouting. Often we didn't switch handoffs guard because we wanted to keep the matchups. But if we decided before the game to switch handoffs and dribble handoffs between the guards, so from the left side, we prefer soft switch because we let them attack to the left side. But from the right side, again, I will show the video again, great clip is there. So we call it like a switching loop or jump switch when we had to stop the player with the ball right after handoff, because in any other case, they could attack us to the right side. So different way guarding the handoff and dribble handoff guard from the left and right side. And last thing, and this is a zoom action. Okay, this is an action what many teams run, and it's very difficult. It's very important to guard it well and having a good rules how to defend it. But okay, if you take a look, really detailing this action, if we talk about the zoom, so this is like a screen away with a dribble handoff. So we just try to follow our basic rules about the screen away defense and dribble handoff defense. So if we talk about the left side, so we prefer pushing towards our basket into the traffic and trail. And if it was from the left side, again, we chased handoff, again, to keep the ball on the left, to keep them attacking us with the left hand. And from the opposite side, from the right side, as you can see on the second diagram, so more or less same thing. We want to push into the traffic, but the second action, and this is a dribble handoff, DHO, we decided to get quick under, because again, if we just chase there, they could attack us with the right hand. So we decided getting under, and again to jump in front of him to force him to the left. So this is more or less about this thing. And now I show you the video, and then we can go ahead with the questions, and we can get back in this thing. So look at, okay, I'm gonna do it slowly that you can recognize everything what happened there. So we have a pick and roll defense, and I think it's gonna be much easier for you to understand because we have clips. So at the beginning we have a weak with the one player front of the pick. Okay, so just to let you know, like at the beginning of every topic there is a clips from the Euroleague. And then right after I put the clips from my team when we ran like 2 seasons ago, when we ran this kind of the defense. So we talk about the one player front.
Back up to
Sorry, okay, we don't need the
40.
voice. Okay. Okay, good. So we can hear. Okay, we have a here guard. So we have a Calates on the ball with the Davis. So here. You heard me? You heard me now?
Yes, we hear you, coach.
Yeah, coach,
Okay.
you're good.
Yeah, so you can see, okay, we have a Davies. Now, with his inside hand, he protects the pocket pass. And right after, there is a cross step, not opening the space for the pocket pass. Now we have a Mirotic and Kuric behind the pick. Both of them 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Maybe Mirotic a little bit deeper, but still good because his player, Thomas, is much closer to the basket. He doesn't stay in the corner. So in this case, Mirotic could get closer to the rim. Okay, and we go ahead.
James.
You see? So again, you can see the hand of the Davies. And now this is very important, as you can see, because Davies is much deeper than a screener roller, so he can guard him face to face.
Finds all.
Okay, basket, but really tough one. Now we have another action. We have the pass, and same again. La Provitola with the Davies. Yeah, okay, Jakubaitis, and I don't know who is there, like Da Silva. Okay, so same thing. Okay, you can see 3 players staying properly. Okay, Davies, great handwork, great footwork. Okay, and we said post never challenges the shot. This is the job of the guard. La Provitola, okay, challenges the shot. Okay, hope. Now you can, here in this clip, you can see that it was decision of the guard, as I was talking about. This is decision of the guard. Even Shanley is too far away, but you can see the, okay, three players not directly involved. Again, great. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Shanley, great footwork. Okay, cross step, not opening too much space. We said paint touch, switch. So Shanley switch with the hustler. They switch pick and roll, and he went for block. Great defense again. Okay, another clip. Okay, you can see we have 3 players along the baseline, but there is a weak side action, but still. Okay, 2 players staying well. Okay, left side guard over the guard. Okay, weak side, 1 foot, 1 out. And again, you can see the both hands. Okay, protecting the pocket pass. Again, Lessor is not gonna be responsible for the shot. Okay, slow cast. Box out, we have a great matchups, great situation for box out. And okay, now we have a clip from my team. It's a screen. Okay, so you can see hand is there, protecting 90 till 45. We have a good 2 players staying behind the action. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We get over, we chase, and really difficult shot. Even if he hit it, like it was really difficult shot. Everything like technically wise was great. Same thing, EJ Roland, Skific staying really well. We have a 3 players staying really well. And again, post, Skific cross step. Okay, we don't open. We have a good tag. Okay, in here, guys, you can see there was a great snake hand. Okay, here, elbow player. Okay, he made it out. Then our post could recover, and this is a challenge shot. Okay, we have everybody stays with his own man. Okay, this is against Zolnagura against high pick and roll. 2 players behind, 1 front. You can see that there is a 1 length away. My post is 1 length away of the screener. Getting over. Okay, 2 guards stay well. Here, again, you can see that my post, okay, the other post, strong side player is higher. Okay, and tough challenge shot. Now we have a week with the 2 players front. Okay, so again, Barcelona against Real Madrid, Tavares, a slip screen. There's Oriola. Okay, and now you can see, okay, the top guard front of the pick, he's responsible for the corner. So he protects straight passing line to the corner. Because in this case, Higgins has to stay once. Okay, he's the bottom player. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Okay, here, protecting the strong side corner, recover, just 2 players involved. Okay. Straight line drive, switch. Okay, switch, box out. of Tavares, Oriola challenge the shot. Great defense. The screen is coming. Again, 2 players front. Okay, so in this case, we have a Guduric who is responsible to protecting straight pass to the corner. Okay, because in this case, Mamatoglu has to stay 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Snake, okay, and again, challenge, a really tough shot. Defensive foul. Same, okay, 2 players front. So we have a same, almost the same thing. Guduric, okay, he has to stop any possible drive over the 3-point line, over the free throw line, extended, guarding his man and protecting straight pass into the corner. Okay, oh, we chase. Everything is under control. Just at the end, there was a little bit poor defense of Hazard 1-on-1. But pick and roll defense worked really well. Again, okay, here we have a Shanley. And we have a Coates. So diagonal stance, you can see the diagonal step 45, no rejection allowed. Okay, you can see Mirotic staying slightly below the elbow. Okay, envision player on elbow, 1 foot, 1 out. I mean, this is probably Hayes Davis, I guess. Yes, Hayes Davis. Really? Okay. And defensive stuff. Here we okay, same thing. Again, you can see that now the guard decided about the pick and roll with the Guduric. But in this case, this is Papagiannis. He's too far away. But still, straight line drive, Wilbekin help there. Okay, Papagiannis block and switch. Post is responsible for the drive, no guard.
It's going to be a foul. Guduric toss to Ferguson.
Maybe there's a screen away, but we have a side lock forcing into the traffic. Great defense by Ferguson. Okay, now you can see because handoff is even. Okay, as I explained you before, from a left side, we prefer to chase the cutter, the guard. But because handoff is so high, so he decided to went under. What is not a problem, but immediately his stance was really well. 45. Okay, and we have a great stance of all the players on the court. Getting the screening line. Okay, on vision post is ready to stop any possible drive. EJ Roland, 1 foot in, 1 foot out behind the action. Okay, he recovers. Great. We have a matchups. We didn't involve too many players in the pick and roll, and we change it into the 2-on-2. Later on, 1-on-1. Tough shot. Okay, same thing here. They're getting the screening line. Oh, everybody stays really well. Snake, but still attacking basket. Switch. Post is responsible for the drive. Really tough shot over the post. 2-8. Now, young player, okay, young gun from my team, former team. He was late. Okay, good decision getting under. Okay. Now there is a weak. Okay, he's stuck there. Okay, he's stuck there, but we stay really well. And now you can see the first clip. Okay, how to close the floater. So what does it mean? So now the ball handler wants to take a floater, but because he shoots with the right hand, so it's much easier. Okay, to close this floater. It's not easy shot. Now we have a week with the 3 players along the baseline. Okay, so you can see 3 players behind the action. So again, Shanley, great screening line. Pick and roll is really high. Okay, so under here. Okay, like not the best handwork because of it. There was an easy pocket. But again, Shanley, because he sees his man in front of him, he can stop him face to face. So there's no open shot. Okay, foul or not foul, I don't know. I'm not the referee, depends. Okay, here, same thing. My team, okay, we are weak. Okay, good handwork, both of them, up protecting the pocket pass. And now you could see, okay, how far is the middleman. Okay, maybe the post is a little bit open for the moment, but he stayed higher. As I showed you, he's higher then his man, and in this case, weak side guard, Ferguson, stays over him to protect any pass. Again, straight line drive, switch, blast. Same thing here, almost Spanish. Okay, this is that spacing what I show you as a second picture. So at the beginning is 3 players along the baseline with the high-low. Okay, and you can say again, hop, because my post, as you can see right now, Skific, he's below the post, he's closer to our basket than the post. So even there is a pocket, there is a pass, and he can guard face to face. This is exactly what we ask from our players. Really tough shot, miss it, we got a rebound. Weak against pick and pop. Okay, so we have here Milan, Delaney, there is the Shields, and Tarchevsky. It was like 4 years ago. So there's a pick and pop, and now you can see, okay, what Delaney did. So he was in between, but he knew that the post is not such a great shooter, so he decided to get him back. But he held there at the beginning. Same thing here. And now, okay, this is the smart thing, depending on the scouting. So you know, okay, first of all, okay, so means Guduric decided running weak. Papagiannis is already there. And now, okay, you can see, okay, I put it in the one frame, and this is Hey Davis. But again, like I think it was a great decision to stick with his man and not helping, because Shengelia is a poor, like decent 3-point shooter. Okay, so there is a no help. So Hey Davis stay with his man, and he left open Shengelia. Much better as he helped on Shengelia and leave open Lundberg, who is a great 3-point shooter. So again, decision and just changing 2-on-2, not involve extra players into the pick and roll. Great decision. We have a switch here. We have same thing, hop, weak. So Shields wicked. Okay, hop, and again, straight line drive. And now you can see, again, if there is a bad spacing, okay, so means if there is a pick, I don't know, like but probably the screener has to drive in, but because of bad spacing, there was a pick and pop action with the cutter popping out. So really bad spacing, still, and unsportsmanlike foul. So you can see here how important is the spacing and to stay spaced. And now you can see the clips of how to closing the runners. So we have a Caltes on the ball. Okay, stopping any possible right to the right. Okay, shading to the left. Here, everybody stays really well. Okay, slip screen, and now you can see how he attacks and block the shot. Because in this case, the runner is taken with the closest hand. Okay, we have a stagger, weak. Oh, there was a Spanish, so in this case, Davis is late. But again, Caltes did a great job to closing the runner. Switch, Abrines, Caltes, same thing, weak with the Davis. Okay, he stuck there for a moment, but still, okay, floater. Okay, we said guard post is not responsible for the shot. This shot is taken like outside of the lane. So this is like an off the dribble shot, and Abrines as a guard is responsible. Okay, same thing to close it, and even their ball. Now, okay, this is the specific thing what we run against the great shooter. So this is a forehand. Okay, really great shooter. Okay, off the dribble, especially if he picks the ball up with his left hand. So we decided running weak with the hedge. Okay, so post. Kamari Murphy hedged really well. Stopping him, you can see the defensive triangle. Post in this case, okay, post players, weak side players get the rim line, and we have a great check. One more bit, okay, and now we have a weak with the switch, maybe a little bit earlier, not 8 seconds, but okay, let's say it was not bad decision. we switch. Now you can see here re-switch. So we send small point guard EJ Roland to the corner. Okay, we switch. We went front, and everything is under control. But at the end, sometimes you are not lucky enough. And you got this kind of the basket. But like defensively, it was great. And same thing, even on handoffs. Okay, so we wanted to run hedge, over and hedge. Again, split line, great communication, number 21, put, okay, points the player. Okay, we have a good defense. Now we have a skip pass, we have a great X defense. But okay, then like a closeout was a little bit poor. But generally, like the defense was not bad. Okay, this is specific thing. Again, like when you run against really strong left-handed players, so you have to change weak into the strong, but everything is the same. Just we force right. So here you can say that, okay, probably the most or the two best players, lefty players in the EuroLeague, it's Slokas and Okobo. So you can see that how the defense is adjusted and force them right. Force them right because they are lefties. Okay, so they run strong. Slokas is lefty, cross step. Okay, and again, great defense, great steal. Okay, great strong defense. Same thing. Okay, 45. Getting over, no right, no left, no left. We can only set too high. We decided getting under, great thing. And everything is great again. Oh. Now, it's very important to know that when the player gets out of the lane, in this case, for the moment, he's with his back to our basket. So even Oriola was responsible to switch and Laprovitola to switch fall when the player with the ball gets out of the lane with his back. So there is a re-switch. So re-switch because Slokas is with his back to the basket. So great defense. Against Slokas. Okay, and now here you can see, okay, rejection. Everybody Barcelona wanted to shade him right, but if there is a rejection, so always post is responsible for any drive. Okay, it means on-ball defender was late, so he decided getting under. But in this case, okay, you can see, and this is very important. This is the best clip. You can see here the high take of Kuric. Okay, how he hit number 17. Only because of his high tech, screener diver is late. Okay, and there is turnover because of a great tech, high tech. Again, okay. Strong. Rejection. Oriola recognized it really well. Cross step. Being front again. Everything is under control. Okay, again, Okobo, lefty, left. Again, okay, Martiunas, great shooter, like decent shooter. Difficult to say, he's not bad shooter, okay, but still better as a easy layup. Okay, when we play against a Euro Cup team of Wrocław, there was one moment or one period of the season when they had three lefty guards on the roster, and it was Martin, guy with the ball, Bips, number 2, and Kolenda, combo guard. So again, we worked before the game to change weak into the strong. Okay, so you can see we run strong, forcing him right. Okay, everybody open, okay, spreading shoulders. We get them well. You can see the balls, okay, both hands there. Still running strong. Our post got really high, but there is a 9 seconds till the end. So we run okay, strong with the switch. Okay, even not, but still he's under control. Still, okay, now we switch 5 seconds. Okay, great snake hand, hop. snake hand.
Który w drugiej połowie nie wszedł.
Okay, and
Martin
crazy,
cały czas
crazy
pilnuje.
shot.
Trzeba w końcu
Okay.
rzucać.
Great defense by all players on
Nie
the
ma
court.
tutaj jednego wybijającego
Kolenda with the ball lefty
lidera. Jest kolektyw, który
here because he's lefty. So pick and roll, we went under.
dwa mecze na
Oh, because we want to force him right. And now you can see what I was talking. Okay, now you can really imagine what does it mean door spin. So you can see EJ Roland because he's late. So he hit and he's stuck there. So he went under. He went under with the door spin. Okay, so he hit the screen here and he went under with the door spin. When any other player stunned well, and we stop it great. So this is a strong.
jego zawodnik Kolenda nawet na razie nie siada na krzesełku.
Same. Okay, beeps, lefty, strong. Again, you can see stagger. We have to trail him because we want to force him right. There was a great off-ball defense, chasing in a stagger, forcing him right.
Dojść do siebie.
A 45-degree angle. And great handwork, both of them. Number 4, okay, went over, guarding the pocket pass with his inside hand. Okay, Murphy with his inside hand. So you can see both hands there. Great stance of any other players. And again, we change, okay, the 2-on-2 into 1-on-1. And again, okay, he made it, but a really, really tough shot with the buzzer.
2 punkty przeciwko Zastanowi. W ogóle w ostatnich tygodniach gra
Now
regularnie.
you can see, okay, look at guys, because we want to force the guard with the ball now to the right side because he's lefty. So there is a soft switch. There's a switch, soft switch, and we let him continue.
12 minut.
And we force left
Ale tam Wiedeka
over.
mało wysoko już pod koniec.
Okay, drive.
Martin przyspiesza.
Both is responsible. Now we have handoffs and dribble handoffs. Here, okay, again, we wanna force ball handler to the left, so we have a soft switch, and we let him continue to the left, and we run weak. So soft switch from the left side, guard. Again, tough shot. He did it, but really tough shot.
Na razie była znowu akcja, podkosz, wrzutka do Murphy'ego i Ferguson w końcu zdobywa swoje pierwsze punkty w tym spotkaniu.
Okay, now you can see dribble handoff when we have to fight over because again, we want to force them left. So we have to get over the screen and he did it really well. Ferguson did really well. Attached on him, fighting over the short pass or handoff. Okay, and again, we have a weak here, great thing. Challenge shot.
Bruku boiska też trafienia z tego nie ma. O, samą obrę. Oczywiście zobaczył, że obrońca.
Again, okay, we have a pick, we have a handoff, but because we wanna, okay, here, okay, he's right-handed player, so we have to get under because we wanna stop him here. Okay, it was late, but he went under and again up, over, getting the screening line, okay, recovering, great things. Still, okay, forcing left, right handler, getting over, both hands great, protecting any pocket pass. We have a player behind the action on the right elbow, staying really well. Chasing, tough shot.
Wydawało mi się, że już jakże ważny zawodnik.
Handoff. We have to get under because we want to force him left.
W tym spotkaniu.
As you can see here, okay, we want to force, so we have to get under handoff. Forcing left,
Zanim
okay. We have a weak side.
Żołnierewicz z dystansu.
Maybe not the best closeout, but still it's not a basket from underneath. And now okay, we have all ball screens. So we have a pin down. We have to chase and keep the ball on the left side. You can see Majar, how he guards the straight passing line to the corner. Okay, tough shot. Basket, but really tough shot. Now we have a left side screen away. So we have to force him into the traffic. At least this is what we did, but you can see here the same defense forcing into the traffic. And now he has to get higher. Okay, he has to get higher because he wants to pushing left. The screen was set. Okay, he stuck there, and the screen was set really high, so he went under the screen. And again, guard challenge the shot, challenges the shot, not post. Okay, box out. And again, great defense. Stagger. Okay, because again, now if we talk about the stagger from the left side, so we have to chase if we want to play with. Yeah. Okay. If you get under, it's not easy to run with. So we chase from the left side, we chase stagger. Left side stagger. Okay, here. He went under, but the ball was really, really high. So there is no problem. Now there's no switch. And again, you can see weak. Okay, he changed the angle of the screen, changed the screen of the plate, but it's the same thing. Great position. Stagger. Stagger with the pitch back. So you can see, okay, top block, forcing into the traffic, and he has to chase. Oh. Great defense, going with and chase, keeping the ball, hook, switch, and again back. Okay, snake drive, chase. Snake drive, chase. Now we have a pin downs. Okay, generally we want to play top block. Okay, not the best defense here, but again, okay, here he's able to adjust the defensive stance, not allowing the ball handler attack us to the right side. Everybody stays really well. Everybody. Great steal. 1-0. We have a pin down. Then we have to chase here. And this is very important. Now you can see what I was talking about the pin down from a left side, from a right side. That when he gets the ball, when the cutter gets the ball, his defender has to get even higher. And he get higher. You see, to prevent any dribble drive to the right side. Both hands. Hop. Again, bucket pass would help. Pin down. Again, chase. And again, because there's a chase, again, he has to get higher. Now we have a handoff. Okay, towards the right side, so he has to fight over going weak, and he fought. No ball, great defense. Again, hop, great handwork. Okay, bad close out, great decision. Foul, our first foul of the quarter, great decision. Now we have, okay, again, now you can see the stagger screen from the left side, from the right side. So in this case, we have, okay, even if he's late, because definitely our defender is late, but the second screen we want to get under, okay, not to chase as we did from the left side, from the right side, we went under. Okay, and same thing, great one-on-one. Again, really, really tough shot. Okay, but he hit it. Now again, stagger, left side chase. And now, okay, this is very important. So you can see here, as I said, from a left side defensively, if there is a handoff or DHO dribble handoff, guard, from left side, there is a soft switch. From the left side, as we are right now, we have to switch with the jump that we don't allow 22, who got the ball right now, to attack to the right. So great jump switch. And we can run weak. Snake drive, great handwork, fighting over the screen, chasing. Okay, great. Great control. Tough shot, rebound, great defense. Again, pick and roll. Chasing, and stopping. Good. Okay, this is a great example when our post adjusts his defensive stance, and when the screener got higher to set the screen higher, our screener defender got higher with him. no space for snake, no space for snake. And much, okay, here. Okay, even there is a snake, everything is under control. Great defense. And last thing, and this is a zoom action. Okay, so when we have a zoom action from a right side, so we chase, we get under, as I explained before, because again, we want to keep the ball just forcing them to the left. He wanted to get under, but the screen moved a little bit. And now, and this is what I wanted to say, guys, this is exactly that clip. Why Mirotic, as a bottom player, has to stay with the one side, one foot inside and one outside. Because if there is a pocket pass, you can see here a pocket. So in this case, there is a rotation. So means Mirotic guards face to face the post player, and La Provitola is responsible for the post. So this is exactly that clip. Okay, here even you can see La Provitola is gonna cover the post, and Mirotic, okay, vertical jump high, okay, no basket. Okay, again, so great defense by Calates, locking top, forcing into the traffic. You see, forcing into the traffic. And okay, and again, handoff was really high, so he decided getting under, and again, weak. Great positioning. Same thing, okay, so pin down, we go with handoff under. Great. Now we have a high tech, great high tech, and again, great defense. Handoff. Okay, on the right side, we have to fight over. So we fight over. We fought over. Now we have a first curl. Now it's not possible to top block because he moves. But you can see the great handoff defense. So we have to chase. And he chased. Okay, to keep him on the left side. Attacking the left side. And now again, great. Okay, switch guard, jump switch. Because if there is no jump switch, in this case, we let the ball handler attack us with his preferred right hand. So we slow down totally their action with a great jump switch. Okay, again, he took the ball much, much higher. Our post reacted really well, getting the screening line. We chase there. Okay, again, there is no space to attack. We have a 5 matchups. We didn't help too much. Just 2 players involved in the pick and roll. Okay, this is Martin lefty. So we go over. We have a specific defense on Morgan because he's a great 3-point shooter and he's a pick and pop player. So we run just a quick step out, getting under. Top. Okay, and again, weak. Okay, we are weak. Again, great defense. Okay. So this is more or less, okay, everything from my side, guys. So if you have any questions, so I think it's I hope so. There is a time to ask, probably, yes or no?
Of course. You have all the time you want. Wait.
No.
All right, guys, if you have any questions, please go for it. Just a lot of you guys said, will you get the presentation? Of course you will. Like all the other ones, you always get them. I'll send it to you via email. So no problems, guys. Do we have... Why is everyone shy? Stop. You can just unmute yourself.
Hey, Coach.
Wait, am I not... Oh.
Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Yes.
Yeah. Coach, it's Kieran here from Ireland. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing well.
Good. I'm just wondering, in Ireland, let's say defensively, we wouldn't be as good as the Euroleague with our national league. So we play help defense. And I'm just wondering, like for a lower division team, if you're playing help defense, on, let's say, the 4x, would you have him play in more or still stay 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and just have him ready to step across?
Okay, so if I understood well your question, so the question was if I prefer to run X in, X out defense, or just staying with your own man, right?
Kieran,
Yeah,
it's really
exactly.
hard to hear you.
I'm sorry, I'm driving from one side of Ireland to the other at the moment.
Look at guys, like depends of the level. I mean, probably the first team in Europe was probably the Spain, who came up with a 2-on-2 pick and roll defense. It was like I don't know, like 8 years ago when they won the World Cup, if I'm not wrong. When with brother Gasols, they were so great defenders and so smart defenders that during the all tournament long, they just changed the pick and roll defense into 2-on-2, and it was really difficult to find a way how to beat them because they minimized the long closeout and rotations. But of course, that like 99% of us don't have a brother Gasols. So I mean, like you have to have a X in, X out defense. It has to be good defense with the great communication. I prefer the communication with the both players. I prefer when elbow. Okay, I show you. Okay, so if we talk about the, let's say, high pick and roll, right here. So we have a, let's say, pick and roll this way. 5 sets the pick. Okay, 1 with the ball. Let's say 4, 2, and 3. Okay, so this is like I mean like a very common spacing. So whatever you run here. So right after when this player with the ball turns away of these 2 players, so I asked O2, 1 foot in, 1 2 out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and same thing. So here before the first dribble, top player, okay, has to protect straight passing line to corner. But this, when he used the first dribble and he gets the top of the pick, these 2 players have to talk to each other. My communication is elbow guy, scream, help, help, help. And he points this player, let's say this is X3 and X2. So X2 scream on X3, last. But in the same time, X3 screams and X2, XXX. So when he comes off the screen, so he has to get the rim line and he come off the lane in between. So XXX means that he is ready for X, and help, that he is ready for some sleep and quick roll. And if here the ball is kicked to the corner, so we have an X defense. But again, you have to be really careful with this because in the top level, with the smart players, especially to the right side, with the skip pass, with the hook set, or like an ear pass over the head, they will kill you, especially if there is a shooter. So because of it, you have to do everything what is possible, as often as possible, to change 5-on-5 into 2-on-2. Of course, that you need the support of any other players. You need their stun, you need their communication, you need their help. Just you have to be really careful how deep they can help, because in this case, if they are too far away, so like a long closeout in a top basketball, it's not easy to guard. But of course, as you mentioned before, if we talk about the little bit lower levels or young levels, there's no problem with the X defense, no at all. Because I'm pretty sure that everything, well, the most important thing is protect the lane, because every team shoots with the highest percentage from the lane. So you have to guard the lane. This is the first thing.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
Hello, coach.
Hello.
I'm Boyan from Romania. Thank you for your presentation. Very thorough, excellent clips, and very detailed presentation. I was just wondering about your intake on your thoughts about hedge and under or hedge and plug with the guard.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us your thoughts about it, and I don't know, maybe more details for us to understand it even better?
There was, thank you for the question. It's a good question, and I say you exactly, or I can answer you exactly. There was a great clinic what I visited with Jelena in Belgrade this summer. There was a coach Isalo, you know him, the coach from Paris, and he was talking about his strategy or how they improve the pick and roll defense in the last, I think, 5 years, if I'm not wrong. And he was talking about one specific thing, and this is the hedge, but he always left the guard pretty deep.
Yes.
I've
been there.
He has a great rule, what I really like. So he just said that if you have a 3 corridors on the court, so he prefers, and I really agree with it. So if pick and roll is run in the middle, so you have to do everything what is possible to keep after pick and roll the ball in the middle. So we are talking about your hedge. So even if the pick and roll was set really high, he still hedge it, but keeping the guard really low. First thing. And second thing about your question is, if I'm not wrong, and I am not wrong, the member of the Euroleague Head Coaches Board, coach from Romania,
Silvașan.
yes,
He
was explaining somewhere the tactic that they run hedge and under, but there was only one reason.
Defensive strategies.
Yes, but okay, there was only one reason. Okay, to minimize the short roll passes, because when you run hedge, let's say the best way how to attack hedge is a short roll. So he wanted to prevent short roll passes, so he went under. But believe me, okay, at least that's my opinion. This kind of defense is not easy, because for the moment after hedge, the guard with the ball is without any defense. And even Coach Mihail, okay, he mentioned it, that especially at the beginning of the season, they struggle a lot to find the balance, because right after hedge, okay, there was always some kind of the short period when the ball handler was totally unguarded and he could do everything what he wanted. So again, not bad strategy, but I mean like a very, very difficult way to learn and to work on it and to run it perfectly. But it's not bad strategy. I like it when Isalo in Belgrade this summer explained it. I mean, if I'm not wrong, this clinic will be uploaded on Udruga Košarkaških Trenera Serbia for a couple of months, and you can work. And I really highly recommend it. It's a great one. So I mean, like it's good defense.
Yes, thank you. I wanted just to hear your thoughts about it. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
I appreciate it.
Christian, ask me something.
You don't have voice, coach.
Nice background.
After 2 hours, it's difficult to start talking. So no problem. I will catch you tomorrow in Algeria.
You can ask me even about any other topics if you want. If I can answer, and I'm here, I'm ready to answer like my experience or my thoughts. No problem.
Okay, if there's no more questions, guys, thank you so much, Coach Maros, for your really detailed presentation. I'll be sending it out to you guys and to everyone else, the links. So yeah, thank you so much, Maros, for your great lecture, and it's a really privilege to have you here. You know, having completed our EHCB and everything, and just with your expertise and experience, really great to have you. And also my great friend.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Anna, again for opportunity because of Euroleague Head Coaches Board. And okay, that's a big truth that I am here because of you, and I'm really happy that I had a chance to share my ideas. At least maybe you like something, and I mean this is the most important thing between us, all the coaches here, that we have to share our ideas, and somebody can like it, somebody not, but still sharing and networking is probably the most important thing about the basketball.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. So yeah, thank you so much, and thanks for everyone for joining today and being with us. And I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll send you all the links. So thanks, Maros. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.